What's up, beautiful people? My name is Yinka and I'm an occupational therapist. In this video, we'll be talking about developmental milestone, your child at 6 months. In our previous video, we spoke about your child at 2 months and your child at 4 months. And don't forget, I said developmental milestones are things children can do by a certain age. And then don't forget, I gave you 4 baselines at which you can use to assess children's development, and those things are social and emotional, language and communication, cognition, movement, and physical development. Now, your child at 6 months, what most children do at this age? For social and emotional, your child knows familiar faces and begins to know if someone is a stranger. Number 1. Number 2, they like to play with others, especially parents. Number 3, the response to other people's emotion and often seems happy. Number 4, they like to look at self in the mirror. Don't forget, this is social and emotional. Number 1, they know familiar faces and begins to know if someone is a stranger. Number 2, they like to play with others, especially parents. Number 3, the response to other people's emotion and often seems happy. Number 4, they like to look at self in the mirror. This is for social and emotional. We are talking about your child at 6 months, the things that they are supposed to be doing at 6 months old. Now, for language and communication, which is the second baseline I gave you, language and communication, they should be responding to sounds by making sounds, string vowels together when babbling, o, and likes to take turn with parents while making sounds. Number 3, the response to their own name. And number 4, they make sounds to show joy and displeasure. That's for language and communication. Let me repeat it again. The response to sound by making sounds. They string vowels together when babbling, o, and likes to take turns with parents while making sounds. Number 3, the response to their own name. And number 4, they make sounds to show joy and displeasure. That is language and communication. And then for cognition, I said cognition means learning, thinking, and problem solving ability. So this is number 3 baselines you can use. And number 1 is they look around at things nearby. They brings their hand to mouth. They bring things to mouth as well. They shows curiosity about things, and they tries to get things that are out of reach, and then they begins to pass things from one hand to another. That is for cognition. Now, don't forget, I'll repeat it again. For cognition, they look at things near them. They brings things to mouth. They brings their hand to mouth too. They shows curiosity about things, and then they try to reach out for that thing, and they begins to pass one thing, maybe an object, from their hand, from this hand to this other hand. That is for cognition. Now for physical development or movement. They rolls over in both directions. They begins to sit without support. They rocks forth and back, and then they stand, and then they bear weight on that leg, and they might bounce. That is for physical development. Let me take it again. They roll over in both directions. They roll, forth and back. They roll over in either direction. They roll, and then they begins to sit without support, and then they rocks themselves. So these are physical development. So now I gave you the 4 baselines you can use to assess your children's development. These are the things that you begin to notice in your child at age 6 months. Now, you should act early by talking to maybe your occupational therapist or a doctor if your child do not bring things to mouth, if your child do not make sounds, if your child seems floppy, if your child have a tight muscles. You should act early by talking to an occupational therapist or a doctor for early intervention to see what the problem is, and then what you can do for together talk about the pictures, and also you can play in a bare floor with your child. You create a routine, and then you also help them to stand on their feet with support. And then when they look at things, you look at that thing and talk about it. Number four, when they make sounds, when maybe for example when they say ba, you complete the sentence for them by saying book or bottle. So these are the things that you can do for your 6 month old. I believe you learned one or two things from this video. If you have any message, you can send me a DM and I'm going to respond to it. Thank you for this video. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.